limited results for students at the junior high level. Researchers looked at 10,000 children in various countries, comparing the academic performance of those who did homework and those who did not. They found that only juniors and seniors in high school benefited from doing homework, and even then, only slightly. Maybe it's time to lighten the homework load so kids can spend more time with the key educators in their lives, their parents. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for Start Mail. Get a 7-day free trial today.
Route 66 Broadband has always provided the fastest and most reliable service in Mojave Valley, Golden Shores, Golden Valley, and Needles. Amazing speed and flexible data plans. Digital TV and phone service available too. In Needles, call 760-326-4190. In Mojave Valley, call 928-565-4190. Visit their website at route66broadband.com.
From the KTOX Route 66 Broadband Weather Center, I'm Steve Castor. Right now, here in Needles, it's sunny and 116 degrees. Overnight lows around 90. Tomorrow stays sunny, climbing to 118 with a low near 90. Up in Bullhead, it's 115 and sunny. Oatman is at 106 and sunny. You're listening to KTOX 1340 and 92.9, the Tri-State's talk leader for over 20 years.
Keep local news independent. Support KTOX 1340.
The opinions voiced on the Rob Hanson radio program are those of the host and the callers, and not necessarily those of KTOX and Reuben Broadcasting.
Oh, my goodness gracious me, mercy sakes alive. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program on this beautiful, very hot July 24th, Friday edition. Let's get this thing started, shall we? I think we shall.
It's the Mr. Rob Hanson radio program on KTOX 1340 AM, now with FM 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
And welcome back. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program, 855-586-9134. And we're going to go something that, we're going to talk about something that goes straight to the heart of what it means to be an American. And that, that's free speech versus so-called hate speech. And especially, where it has been attacked online. I know a lot of you aren't, online a lot. I am. And I definitely have my opinions, and I'm not afraid to share them, whether they are positive or negative, right or wrong. They're my opinions. I'll share them. However, we're going to talk about where should the platforms and, more importantly, the governments draw the line in 2026. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front. I stand with the First Amendment. I stand with the First Amendment. Full stop. No asterisks. No except when it hurts someone's feelings. No except when the left decides that words are dangerous. The First Amendment is not a suggestion. It's part of the bedrock. And if we let people in Silicon Valley or the bureaucrats in Washington or even Brussels start carving exceptions for hate speech, we won't have a First Amendment left. We'll have a permission slip. Let's start with the plain truth. In the United States, there is no legal category called hate speech. Supreme Court has cited, has said over and over, offensive speech, hateful speech, stupid speech, even speech that makes you want to throw your radio out the window is protected. The only speech that can be restricted is the narrow stuff, true threats of violence, incitement to imminent lawlessness under the Brandenburg Standard, obscenity, defamation. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is fair game. That's the American way. Wonder who was calling me. No, it was Jim Jones. That's why, we're different from Europe. We're different from Canada. We're different from every soft authoritarian regime that pretends to love democracy while jailing people for tweets. But somewhere along the line, the left decided it wasn't good enough, and they look at the First Amendment and said, too messy, too free. We need to clean this up. So they invented a new category called hate speech. And here's the dirty little secret. Hate speech is whatever they disagree with on any given Tuesday. You say that biological men shouldn't compete in women's sports? Well, that's declared hate speech. You say open borders are destroying American communities and wages? Guess what? More hate speech. You notice that crime statistics don't match the media narrative? Oh, guess what? That's more hate speech. And that list goes on and on. They've turned disagreement into a moral crime. And once something is labeled hate, platforms feel righteous about deleting it, shadow banning it, demonetizing it, or straight up deplatforming the person who said it. And the government? For 4 long years under the previous administration, they were right in the background, job boning companies, sending emails, holding meetings, threatening Section 230 reform if the platforms didn't do more about misinformation and hate. We all saw the Twitter files. We saw the emails. We saw the White House leaning on Facebook, Google, and Twitter to suppress stories about COVID origins, about the Hunter Biden's laptop, about election integrity, about vaccine side effects, all under the banner of fighting hate and disinformation. What was the real goal? It wasn't safety. It was control. Shut down the uncomfortable discussions, keep the narrative clean, and if you can make ordinary Americans afraid to say what they see with their own eyes, you've won without ever having to win the argument. That's the tell, folks. Real hate, actual calls for violence against people because of race or religion has always been rare. And the law already handles the criminal parts. What the left calls hate speech is almost always just politics they don't like. It's a speech that challenges their power. It's a speech that points out the failures in their policies. It's a speech that refuses to pretend that 2 + 2 = 5. Look at how elastic the definition has become. 10 years ago, hate speech meant the Klan or neo-Nazis. Ugly stuff. Today, a conservative mother at a school board meeting reading from a library book is a hate group. A comedian telling a joke about gender is spreading hate. A science publishing data on sex differences is dangerous. The Overton window didn't just shift, it got shoved off a cliff by people who claim to care about tolerance while practicing the most intolerant speech codes since the Puritans. Let's talk about the platforms themselves. Private companies, yes. they have First Amendment rights too. And, well, working for one of those private companies, we can set our own rules. I get that. But when companies control the modern public square, when they have a near monopoly power over how hundreds of millions of Americans talk to each other, and when they coordinate with one particular party and one government to suppress the other side, we're not talking about neutral private property anymore. We're talking about de facto ministry of truth. Elon Musk buying Twitter, now X, and opening the books was one of the healthiest things that happened to free speech in a generation. Suddenly, the hate speech filters started looking a lot more like political filters. Suddenly, people could see the double standard in real time. One set of rules for the left, another for everyone else. In 2026, the pressure hasn't gone away. Europe is still at it with the Digital Services Act. The EU bureaucrats in Brussels are trying to export their speech codes to the entire internet. If a post is legal in Texas but illegal under some vague hate standard in Germany or Ireland, the platform often just applies the strictest rule globally to avoid the fines. That means European censors effectively writing rules for what Americans can say online. Canada just rolled out parts of its new anti-hate law, Bill C-9, with penalties up to 10 years for vaguely defined hate and symbols. Critics up there are already warning that it will chill legitimate debate. And some of this country still want to import that particular model. They want age verification schemes, safety mandates, and government-approved moderation that just happens to silence the same voices every single time. So where should we draw the line? Simple. That line is the Constitution. Platforms can and should moderate spam, child exploitation, direct threats, the stuff that everyone agrees is garbage. Governments can prosecute actual crimes. But neither the platforms or the government should be in the business of deciding which political opinion is too hateful to be heard. The moment you give them that kind of power, the definition expands, always. It never stays limited to organizations like the Klan. It moves to the parent who doesn't want boys in her daughter's locker room. It moves to the immigrant who worked hard and resists or resents illegal crossings. It moves to the black conservative who rejects the victim narrative. It moves to you. The left loves to say words are violence. That's a lie designed to justify real censorship. Words are words. Violence is violence. Conflating the two is how you end up with people losing their jobs, their bank accounts, their platforms for saying something wrong people didn't like. That's how you get a culture of fear instead of a culture of debate. I've lived long enough to remember when the left claimed to be champions of free speech. Free speech for communists, for flag burners, for pornographers, for every radical cause under the sun. Now that speech is coming from the other direction, from the people who believe in borders, two sexes, color blindness, and the greatness of this country. Suddenly, free speech is hate. Convenient, isn't it? It isn't about protecting the vulnerable, it's about protecting the narrative. And narratives can't survive contact with open debate are narratives that deserve to die. We don't need Silicon Valley or Washington to babysit our conversations. The First Amendment was written exactly for times like this, when the powerful want to shut people up. James Madison and the founders knew that the answer to bad speech is more speech, not less. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Argument, ridicule if necessary, not deletion, not deplatforming, not government pressure campaigns dressed up as content moderation. So here's where I land. Hard. Platforms should side on the error of leaving speech up. Government should stay the hell out of content business. And ordinary Americans, you listening right now need to stop apologizing for exercising the right the Constitution has already given you. Say the true thing. Say the uncomfortable thing. Say the things the algorithms try to bury. Because once you accept that some speech is too hateful to be allowed, you've already lost. The people defining hate will never define it against themselves. We've seen what happens when free speech erodes. Right now, Europe is living it. Parts of Canada are living it. We don't have to. This is still America. And KTOX is still free air. As long as I'm sitting in this chair, I'm going to keep saying the quiet parts out loud. The phone lines are open. I want to hear from you. Where do you think the line should be drawn in 2026? Have you been censored, shadow banned, or called a hater for just stating an opinion? Give me a call. Call in. I want to hear from you. In the meantime, we're going to head off to a little break. When we come back, your phone calls 855-586-9134. KTOX Needles. This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi, because time is money, and we're always on time.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
Or if that resume was from someone who
worked 12-hour shifts at the recycling company with my dad, who's 72. That taught me a work ethic that I carry with me every day.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals. But I learned to push through, and that's what I bring to work every day.
So maybe it's time we look beyond the resume and look to Grads of Life. Discover new ways to develop great talent that are so much more than what's on paper at gradsoflife.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm gonna keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/bloodpressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Psst. Yeah, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active. But lately you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/bloodpressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
KTOX Needles, the very best in live local talk.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134. Let's go to the phones right now. KTOX, you are on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
This is Kenny.
Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. There's one word I'm not going to allow is to escape the conversation, and that is allegiance.
Uh-huh.
When people say they want to change something that they swore an allegiance to, that means either they're lying about their swearing or they're actually giving up their citizenship because they no longer have allegiance to the flag.
Okay. Now, what does that have to do with the hate speech discussion that we are having today?
Well, words have meanings.
I understand words have meanings. What does this have to do with the hate speech discussion that we're having?
May I finish my sentence, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Words have meanings. When people say words that nullify their citizenship is nullified. The government doesn't nullify it. They nullify it themselves. They want to change things. They want to take power and change things through the power they've taken. They've nullified their allegiance to that which they have pledged their allegiance. They did it themselves. They're no longer citizens. Now, what we've got to do in this county, in Mojave County, is make sure that non-citizens do not appear on any of our ballots.
Okay, that is a legitimate concern, but once again, we're talking about hate speech. We're talking about hate speech. We're talking about speech that you say. Now, just that you said illegal aliens should not belong on the ballot would be considered by the left a being hate speech. You old racist, you.
Well, of course, illegal aliens are not allowed on the ballots.
Correct.
However, people who are citizens up to the point that they open their mouth and relinquish their citizenship, they're no longer citizens. They're not allowed on the ballot either. That accounts for each and every Democrat.
Well, unfortunately, that's unenforceable, and regardless of what your opinion is, that is unenforceable.
It's if the Board of Supervisors passes an ordinance that non-Americans shall not appear on the ballot, they shall not appear on the ballot.
Okay.
How's that non-enforceable?
We're talking about aliens who were not born in the United States, not naturalized, and here illegally, or even legally under a visa.
Well, you're picking and choosing.
No, I'm not picking. I'm choosing. I'm stating the law. I'm stating the law. People who were born here naturally, regardless. I understand that, but
I'm trying to express a concept, and I'm not being listened to.
I'm hearing your concept. The thing is, your concept is not enforceable.
Well, you didn't hear it because you didn't allow me to finish talking, so you didn't hear my concept.
Okay.
It's simple. When you nullify your allegiance to the country, you nullify your citizenship. You do that through words.
Okay.
You do it yourself.
And exactly how many people have done that, and how is that legally enforceable?
Each and every Democrat. The enforceable part is that they shall not be allowed on the ballot.
Well, once again, that's unenforceable. They're still Americans. They're still American citizens, and it takes.
The county passes an ordinance.
The county passes that ordinance. It's going to be defeated in court in about 20 seconds.
That ordinance shall have to be passed before it can be defeated.
Right.
So that's my mission. That's my mission is to get that ordinance passed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand. I understand. I really truly do it. I understand where you're coming from, and I do understand the sentiment. But here we have, all right, we have a nation of laws. We have a constitution that clearly defines what a citizen of the United States is.
And part of that definition is the fact that your country has jurisdiction over you as long as you have allegiance to your country. Otherwise, the country does not have jurisdiction over you.
That is that is not that simple.
That's fact.
Okay. What
goes back to a Supreme Court decision.
Which Supreme Court decision?
I don't remember. I read about it a while ago, but it's rattling around up there somewhere.
I hear you there, man. I've got a lot of those rattling around up there. Disjointed things I can't exactly put. I'll tell you what, you find that and let me know. I'll look it up. But here's the thing. Do you know the steps it takes to renounce your citizenship to the United States legally?
You do it every time you renounce your sovereignty.
No, you don't. We're talking legally, not intellectually, not through your ideas of what should be and should not be. Actual legal definition of renouncing your citizenship. Do you know the steps involved?
First, you have to give up your allegiance. That happens with a very few words.
Okay. How about the other steps involved?
That's the only step involved.
No, it's not the only step involved. No, it's not the only step involved. There is a whole itinerary of lists and things that you have to do to remove yourself as a citizen of the United States.
No, I have allegiance to my country.
I understand this. I understand.
Finish my words.
Yeah, and you're not letting me finish mine. There's an entire list of things. Now, I understand, Kenny, that you don't want Democrats to be American citizens because you feel that they have broken their allegiance with the United States. I understand that. I feel you there. However, the legal definition of an American citizen is spelled out in the Constitution. And no, just words alone does not break your citizenship. I'm more than willing to have this discussion with you, Kenny, but you got to give a little bit. But in the meantime, I've got some research to do. And I've got commercials to run. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program. We'll be back after these messages. KTOX Needles. This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. Because time is money, and we're always on time.
Hi, Crystal again from High Desert Heat. Never before in history has it been more important to hang on to your Second Amendment rights. Times are changing fast. Make sure you and your family are protected. At High Desert Heat, we have all your Second Amendment needs. Weekly CCW classes as well as training or even a try before you buy. Custom Cerakoting, engraving, ladies private, and group shooting classes. We are your hometown family-friendly one-stop shop. High Desert Heat, 4410 Highway 95, Fort Mojave, Arizona, 928-763-4328.
Route 66 Broadband is locally owned and operated company with a local attitude. What that means to you is better service. With internet service and digital TV in Needles, Golden Valley, Mojave Valley, and Golden Shore. Call Needles at 760-326-4190 and Golden Valley at 928-565-4190. Be sure to check out the website at Route66Broadband.com. It's all about reliable high-speed service and much more. Swantees of Bullhead City has been a permanent source for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles since 1990. Swantees has the largest selection of new and used cars and trucks in the tri-state area. They have a knowledgeable parts department and an award-winning service department. Whether it's a Ram truck, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Dodge Charger, there's always great deals to be had at Swantees of Bullhead City at 2494 Highway 95. Stop in and see us.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penny of Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials, so just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PennyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
More fascinating talk radio.
That's all there is to it.
Okay, you don't want a cheesy announcer, it says, though. You don't need that, right? Get a life. Just like that? Cool. Keep listening. Just the facts, man.
KTOX.
Step inside your radio.
KTOX.
No additives, no preservatives, no chemicals.
More fascinating talk radio.
To let your voice be heard.
KTOX would love to do your advertising. If your organization or business needs a little help, KTOX can get your name out on the air. We have the best advertising rates in the area. Reach us by email at ktoxradio@yahoo.com or 928-296-2562. That's KTOXradio@yahoo.com or 928-296-2562.
Developers and investors, located in beautiful Needles, California. This is your opportunity. River Lux Resort, a city-approved 15-acre mixed-use development along the Colorado River, zoned PUD and C2, ready for retail, resort, and residential growth. Prime location between the river and the golf course, where lifestyle meets potential. Visit riverluxresort.com and discover the vision.
Dandy Donuts and Deli offers the best donuts and pastries in the tri-state area, hands down, and they are baked fresh every day. Dandy features 9 flavors of boba tea and a variety of smoothies, including espresso, mocha, and Thai tea. Their deli menu makes for a perfect lunch when you're on the go. Dandy Donuts and Deli at 4630 Highway 95 in Fort Mojave. Order online for fast pickup or call 928-444-1100.
And tell them that you heard it on KTOX. KTOX, we bring you facts without fear or favor.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134. 855-516-9134. Oh, Lord. Killing myself here. Anyway, just for my own edification, I know that there's a bunch of steps that you actually have to do to renounce your citizenship. And it's more than just, saying bad things about the United States. It's more than just being a Democrat or a liberal or a communist. Here are the steps to renounce your citizenship. First, you have to contact a consulate. Oh, by the way, outside of the United States. Find and contact the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate outside the United States to learn how they accept renunciation requests and schedule your required interviews. Gather documents. Bring your current U.S. passport, proof of citizenship like birth certificate or naturalization certificate, and proof of any other nationality you hold. Complete the forms. Fill out the required Department of State paperwork, which includes a questionnaire about your choice and statements acknowledging the permanent nature of the act. Attend an interview. Attend your scheduled in-person appointments with consular officer, where you will sign the oath of renunciation under their witnesses and then pay a $450 fine. Also, before they will accept your that, you also have to prove tax compliance for the last 5 years. That's a bunch of steps. It's an intentional thing. Nowhere under the law can you just say, I'm no longer a United States citizen, and have that stick. Nowhere under the law can somebody say, you are no longer a United States citizen, have that stick. Kenny, I love you like a brother. I love the discussions we have. However, passing a law that has illegal aliens or aliens not able to vote in our county's elections is a whole lot different than not allowing United States citizens who just happen to be Democrats and hold different opinions than yours not be able to vote in elections. Like I said, it takes a whole lot to give up your citizenship. It takes a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of intention. It's not a one-day process either. Anyway, 855-586-9134 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. But we were talking about hate speech. We were talking about speech on social media platforms that private companies or governments have deemed hateful. Speech that doesn't even approach criminal standards that we've had in the United States for pretty much ever. Things like actual threats against people, like, hey, I'm going to kill you. That's illegal speech. That's a threat. That can land you in a police interview room. Inciting people to violence. One of the things they tried to get Trump on in 2019, 2020, They tried to say he was inciting violence. That failed miserably. Passing on of expletive information like pornography, private pictures, children, that's illegal. That carries legal penalties and should be barred. Illegal activities like, oh, hey, here's a way to hack a money machine, an ATM. That is an illegal activity if you are caught sharing that. But having an argument like the one we're having, Kenny, about what actually defines a U.S. citizen, that's a helpful and honest yet brutal discussion. And it's not hate speech. It's not censorship. It's not anything else that can be defined as something that should not be allowed. Denying an American citizen the right to vote in an election without due process. And in other words, you probably ought not be voting if you're currently in jail or in prison. You are you probably ought not be voting. Once you're done paying for your crimes, your civil rights are reinstated, and you should have the right to vote once again. But we can't just willy-nilly remove the rights of somebody to vote, to participate in the American process, just because we disagree with them politically. That's what I fight for. I fight for the rights of all Americans. All Americans. They say a lot of words. Oh, we hate America. We despise it. You know, America is nothing but stolen land built on slave trade, this and that and everything else, and it's all just words. They're still American citizens. KTOX, you're on the air.
Dear Kenny, I agree with you, Kenny. Rob is wrong. There. Love David. There you go, Kenny. There's your honor.
Why am I wrong?
Well, because you're Rob. It just, goes hand in hand. Just, yeah.
All right. Well, how about more than I'm just Rob?
Oh, man.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot, and you can't come up with reasons.
No. Here, I got you.
Okay.
If threat, you're talking about threats. I'm going to kill you, Rob.
That's
okay.
But the thing is it an honest threat, or is it just something you're saying to get laughs, grins, and giggles and a reaction? Right.
Well, even if it's a so-called honest threat, I actually have. Let me inject my resume first.
You're unfortunately you are not a credible threat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but it wasn't me threatening somebody. It was somebody threatening me. and they did it in writing even, and they transmitted it over the internet. And so I did an interview with the FBI, and the FBI didn't do anything about it.
Well,
rarely
do they until you've got a knife sticking on your back or bullet hole in you.
Right. And this letter didn't just say I'm going to kill you. It said I'm going to kill you. A, B, C, D. It laid it all out. Okay.
Oh, nice.
And,
a plan.
Yeah, and the FBI didn't do anything about it, and that jives with what I had learned through life. I don't remember if it was before, even before that.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I'm going to kill you, it has to be credible, even if they mean it seriously. If they seriously mean it, I'm going to kill you. It has to be credible,
right.
And then they probably have to take some sort of action toward carrying out that goal.
Right.
Otherwise, the cops won't do nothing.
Yeah. That's why I don't believe you.
Right. So you're wrong. See, Kenny, I told you.
Okay, fine.
It's hard to get good radio help nowadays, Kenny. So, I mean, after all, look at that guy that's on before Rob.
We don't talk about other talk show hosts.
Well, we can't even do it when we're joking around.
No, we don't. We don't talk about other hosts unless now if they were there right here sitting, I'll talk about them all day long.
Well, he was just there sitting. The chair was warm when you sat down. That's proof he was there sitting.
Yeah, but he's not here now.
How do you know?
I watched him leave.
The walls have eyes. Notice that?
Actually, the walls around here do have eyes.
What kind?
Pretty darn good ones.
Wall eyes?
Really good resolution wall eyes. Yeah.
They got wall eyes?
No, we're not in Washington. We don't have walleyes around here.
Or Minnesota. Arizona has got to have walleyes. There's got to be at least one walleye in Arizona.
I'm sure somebody here in Arizona has at least one walleye mounted on a wall.
Maybe in Pickerel Lake.
Who knows? I have no idea. The only really good fishing around here is stripers, trout, and what are those catfish?
Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah, those are those big ones that taste like beef. Catfish.
Catfish. Catfish. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Wyoming, I was talking with that guy that you won't talk about earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Wyoming.
I was here when you made that ridiculous statement. So I can talk about
the drive-throughs where you drive through and you get your whiskey sour or your mojito or whatever and continue on your way.
No, it's a drive-through package liquor store, not a drive-through bar to get your drink.
They did have them. This was like probably 50 years ago, but they did have them. You don't remember?
No, they did not have them.
Do you remember open container being legal in Wyoming?
Actually, yes, I do. That was made illegal in, I think, 1977.
Right about the time you were in high school. See,
nope, I wasn't in high school. I was definitely in elementary school.
Even big. You were in elementary school. Even bigger reason to make it illegal. Mm-hmm. We've got the elementary school kids drinking and driving.
However, there was a DUI.
You got DUI?
Really?
Really what?
You're gonna misinterpret all of that. All right, have a good one. It is the Miss Rob Hanson Radio program. We'll be back after these messages. KTOX Needles.
KTOX and K281CR Needles.
If you're just turning on your radios,
this is KTOX.
To bring you up to date on the news.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. There's no let-up in back-and-forth fighting in the Mideast. The Iranians striking a U.S. military base.
At least 7 explosions have broken out near a military base hosting U.S. forces in the northern Iraqi city of Erbil. The city's in the country's semi-autonomous Kurdish region. The explosions began at around 9:30 a.m. local time on Friday, according to an Associated Press journalist in the area who heard the blasts. The journalist observed at least 4 plumes of black smoke rising into the sky from areas near or inside the base. There's been no immediate information on casualties or the cause of the explosions, and Iraqi and U.S. officials haven't immediately commented. I'm Charles Dilatesma.
Saudi Arabia struck the port city of Hodeidah in Yemen in response to Iranian-backed Houthi rebel attacks on Saudi shipping. The Saudi strikes Saturday were in retaliation for Houthi attacks on 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea on Thursday. SpaceX Starship rocket blasting off on another test flight, this time carrying 20 of the most advanced Starlinks. The launch from Texas comes a week after a last-second launch abort. At a briefing, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says at least 3 people have died in river flooding that began July 12th.
On July the 20th, there was a report that in Valverde County, a report of a death of someone who was driving through high waters and got swept away and lost their life. So now there are officially 3 people whose lives have been lost because of the July floods.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He spoke during a media briefing in Cotulla, a city about 90 miles southwest of San Antonio. More on these stories from townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-926-5959. That's 800-926-5959. 800-926-5959.
Swantees of Bullhead City has been a permanent source for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles since 1990. Swantees has the largest selection of new and used cars and trucks in the tri-state area. They have a knowledgeable parts department and an award-winning service department. Whether it's a Ram truck, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Dodge Charger, there's always great deals to be had at Swantees of Bullhead City at 2494 Highway 95. Stop in and see us.
If you're struggling to start an exercise routine, take heart. Even small changes in the amount you walk can help defend you against diabetes. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, back in a moment with details.
Red alert, Yahoo users. You've fallen in a trap that could ruin your life. If you keep using Yahoo,
you consent to sharing all data in your email account with our AI providers, and you grant us a perpetual license to use, display, publish, and publicly distribute your content in any media known now or in the future, and to let other users access and distribute it as well.
Yikes! It's time to switch to StartMail, the only email that's AI-free and private by design. StartMail.com.
A new study shows walking just a few extra minutes a day can reduce your risk of diabetes. Researchers use pedometers to monitor how much people walked in a week. As expected, those who walked the most were the least likely to develop diabetes, and 4 miles a day seemed to be the sweet spot. But they found good news for couch potatoes, too. People who walked just a few minutes a day had a far lower diabetes risk than people who did not walk at all. If you'd like to add a few more steps to your day, here's an easy tip. The next time you go shopping, don't pick a parking spot right next to the door, but park a bit further away and walk. Little decisions like this can really add up, and your heart and your pancreas will love you for it. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartMail.com, the private email alternative.
Route 66 Broadband has always provided the fastest and most reliable service in Mojave Valley, Golden Shores, Golden Valley, and Needles. Amazing speed and flexible data plans. Digital TV and phone service available too. In Needles, call 760-326-4190. In Mojave Valley, call 928-565-4190. Visit their website at route66broadband.com.
From the KTOX Route 66 Broadband Weather Center, I'm Roger Storm. Right now it's clear and 116 degrees here in Needles with an overnight low around 90. Tomorrow looks sunny with a high near 118 and an overnight low near 89. Up in Bullhead City, it's 115 and clear with a high tomorrow near 117. KTOX 1340 and 92.9, the Tri-State's talk leader for over 20 years.
KTOX, the Tri-State leader in local talk.
The opinions voiced on the Rob Hanson radio program are those of the host and the callers, and not necessarily those of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting.
Oh, my goodness gracious me, mercy sakes alive. We are back. Hour number 2 of the Miss Rob Hanson radio program right here on the mighty KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM. Let's get this thing started, shall we? I think we shall.
It's the Miss Rob Hanson radio program on KTOX 1340 AM, now with FM on 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
You want to scream and shout. Presidential party. No one wants to dance.
And welcome back. 855-586-9134 is the numbers you want to join in the conversation. Let's get to some weather that we've got going on here in the tri-state area. Tonight, mostly clear with lows around 92, south winds 8 to 13 miles per hour, then becoming light south-southeast after midnight. Winds could gust as high as 22 miles per hour. Tomorrow, sunny and hot with highs near 118, light and variable winds becoming south 6 to 11 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 21 miles per hour. You know, it's going to be hot and a convection oven. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with lows around 92. South winds 5 to 9 miles per hour, then becoming calm after midnight. Sunday, sunny and hot with highs near 115. A little bit of a cool off, not much. Light south wind increasing 10 to 15 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 26 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear with lows around 91. South winds 9 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Monday, we've got sunny and hot with highs near 113. Tuesday, sunny and hot with highs near 112. Wednesday, sunny and hot with highs near 113. Thursday, 115. Friday, 118. And, it's just the summer has come and grabbed us around the neck. Just drink plenty of water. Drink lots of water. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's, yeah. So, continued hot weather. Right now, currently in the tri-state area, the humidity is around 12%. The dew point at 53 degrees. So we are still technically in monsoon. But apparently there's no weather incoming. At least anytime soon. Hopefully we don't get the rains like we got the last time that flooded the station. That was a nightmare and a half. Anyway, 855-586-9134. Now, continuing on in our vein of the First Amendment. We were talking about that in the first hour. And here is a continuation of the hate speech. And it went on to the cancel culture legacy. Now, cancel culture has been around for quite some time. I got caught up in cancel culture when I worked at Murphy Broadcasting because somebody else told a joke. Somebody else told a joke. It wasn't even the host. It wasn't me. It was somebody else told a joke. And because they told a joke and they offended somebody, several people got fired. Because they were afraid that that they would get sued. And it was serious. It was around the same time that a shock talk radio host from out east, and not Howard Stern, but another one, called the Rutgers basketball team a derogatory term on the air and got fired for it. And that started a wave, an entire wave of thin-skinned people going after radio station talk show hosts and shock jocks getting the axe. Anything that they deemed offensive, they started legal procedures against radio stations. So the only way that the radio station or broadcast group could protect themselves was to terminate the contract of said show host. That went on for quite a few years. However, it has continued forward. Now, here's the question. Has it peaked, or is it just evolving into something quieter, smarter, and more effective? Now, I'm going to answer this from my perspective. That puts the First Amendment front and center. As always, you know, free speech isn't a partisan toy. It's for everyone. It's the oxygen of a free society. The founders didn't write, Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech so that mobs, corporations, and universities or HR departments could do the abridging for them. When people lose jobs, get deplatformed, lose bank accounts, or silence themselves because their opinions are unpopular, the spirit of the First Amendment is under attack, even if the letter of the law isn't always violated. So let's dig into this. For the better part of a decade, cancel culture was the left's favorite weapon. It started with social media pylons, one old tweet, one offhand joke, one disagreement with the latest progressive orthodoxy on race, gender, or climate, and the digital mob would form. Hashtags would trend. Petitions would fly. Employers would panic. And careers would end. We watched this happen to comedians, professors, journalists, athletes, ordinary people who simply refused to pretend the biological reality was bigotry or that open borders were compassion. The public noticed. Poll after poll showed majorities of Americans, often 60% or more, said cancel culture had gone too far and was stifling free speech. Organizations like the Cato Institute and the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, FIRE, documented the chilling effect. People self-censored at work, in classrooms, and online out of fear. FIRE's ongoing college free speech rankings include the 2026 edition, surveying tens of thousands of students, continue to show the widespread self-censorship. Roughly a quarter to a third of students report regularly biting their tongues with peers or in class. Faculty surveys have found conservatives especially likely to stay quiet, with 1 in 5 faculty overall admitting they self-censor in their professional settings. That's not a free marketplace of idea. That's a culture of fear. Did it peak? Well, some headlines after the 2024 election declared victory. Cancel culture is dead. We got to see high-profile uncanceling figures who'd been frozen out starting to work again. Elon Musk's transformation of Twitter into X blew open the old content moderation regime. Companies ban walking back the most extreme DEI mandates. Parents pushed back at school boards. State legislators protected speech on campus. That pushback was real and overdue. And credit where it's due. Ordinary Americans, conservative activists, and a few brave executives forced the pendulum to swing. But don't confuse a retreat with a surrender. Cancel culture didn't die. It evolved. The loud, chaotic Twitter mobs of 2018 to 2022 became quieter, more institutional. In many ways, more effective. Think about it. Instead of a viral hashtag destroying someone overnight, we now have HR departments and DEI bureaucrats that treat certain viewpoints with automatic career risks. Algorithmic suppression that quietly buries dissenting posts without a public spectacle. Worst of all, debanking and payment processor pressures that cuts people off from financial services for their politics. There's a particular group out there, Gays Against Groomers. They were debanked several times. And had problems able to process their donations. People making donations to that group. Just because the left completely disagreed with them. Academic and professional blacklisting that never makes the evening news. In other words, if you are a college professor and you had views that that some of your colleagues disagreed with, you could lose your tenure and your job very quietly. And then never be able to get another one again because you've been professionally blacklisted. A lot of doctors during COVID came under that as well. Corporate risk aversion that kills projects, books, or comedy specials before they ever see the light of day. Oh, this might offend somebody. This might make somebody think. This might shine a little light or levity onto a problem that needs to be laughed at. These tools don't need a screaming mob anymore. They operate in the background. They're quieter. They're harder to fight. And they still enforce the same orthodoxy. Certain ideas are not just wrong, they're forbidden. Look at the data that still comes in. Fire's 2026 college free speech rankings gave failing grades to large majority of the institutions surveyed. And self-censorship remains endemic. Mental health impacts from public shaming have been documented in studies showing significant declines for those targeted. Career damage, lost jobs, delayed rehiring, lost earnings. It's real and it's measurable. And yeah, the double standard remains glaring. For years, the left canceled conservatives and classical liberals for questioning gender ideology, affirmative action, or COVID policy. When the political winds shifted and some on the right demanded accountability for people who celebrated violence, most notably the wave of firings and professional consequences after the assassination of Charlie Kirk in September of 2025. Suddenly, the same media voices carried cancel culture. Let's be clear, celebrating the murder of a political opponent is not protected dissent. Holding people accountable for that is not the same as destroying someone for saying there are two sexes. Conservatives spent years defending the principle that bad speech is best answered with better speech, not social destruction. When the left used the cancel culture to enforce conformity, it was an assault on open debate and the First Amendment. Replicable accountability for actual celebration of political violence is a different moral category. The left's sudden rediscovery of free speech principles when their own side faces consequences is pure selective outrage. Christopher Rufio and others on the right have argued that culture always cancels something. The only question are what and by whom. The healthy American answer is that we cancel actual threats, fraud, and violence through law and open argument. We don't cancel opinions. The First Amendment's genius is that it protects the speech we hate so that the speech we love remains free. So, has cancel culture peaked? The loudest, most performative version has definitely lost some steam. Public fatigue is real. Pushback has scored victories. But the quieter institutional version is still very much with us. In HR manuals and university speech codes that survive under new names, in corporate risk departments, and other self-censoring that FIRE and other groups continue to measure. Evolving into something quieter doesn't make it less effective. Now let's go back and talk about Charlie Kirk for a moment. Cancel culture went kinetic with Charlie Kirk. Somebody disagreed with Charlie Kirk so much that they shot him and murdered him in public. Instead of standing up and arguing or presenting your side or talking it out, this person chose violence. The ultimate cancel. Now, do I agree with everything Charlie Kirk said? No, I don't. I don't have to. But I do agree with how he handled discussions. He allowed anybody to come up to the microphone and talk. More often than not, both sides, both parties walked away with a better understanding of each other. Not that major opinions were changed. But that honest, civilized discussion has a place in open, in the public square. Not dogma shoved down somebody else's throat with the threat of losing your job, losing your life, losing your bank account, losing your family. Now, in some ways, it makes it more so. And it becomes harder and harder to rally against this kind of cancel culture. However, the antidote is the same as it's always been. Courage. Speak the truth. Defend the rights of others, even those you disagree with. Allowing them to speak theirs. We have the opportunity to support platforms and institutions that refuse to enforce ideological purity tests. We need to demand that governments stay out of the business of viewpoint discrimination and never accept the premise that some ideas are too dangerous for adults to hear. The First Amendment is not a suggestion for polite company. Never has been, never will be. It's a hard-won protection for the messy, uncomfortable, necessary business of self-government. Cancel culture's legacy is a cautionary tale. It showed how quickly a free society can slide into social coercion when enough people decide that disagreement equals harm. And the bottom line is it hasn't peaked. It's just adapted. Our job is to keep adapting faster by refusing to be silenced and refusing to silence others for mere disagreement. Now, the phones are open. If you have someone you know felt the quieter form of cancel culture, lost opportunities, self-censorship, professional pressure, do you think it's peaked or is it still evolving? give me a call, 855-586-9134. We'll be back after these messages, K2X Needles. This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Time Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi, because time is money, and we're always on time.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. As a volunteer, you deliver a hot, nutritious meal and a friendly hello to someone just like your mother, grandfather, or next-door neighbor. These seniors are inspiring people with incredible stories to share, and they love to see you. The smiles you get back are priceless. Delivering with Meals on Wheels is easy, and you don't have to drive like me for it to be quick. You can volunteer your lunch break once a week or just once a month. With 1 in 6 seniors facing hunger and many more living in isolation, your lunch break can make a real difference. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I spend a lot of time in my backyard. I feed the birds and the bees. I love my flowers. The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent, thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to volunteers because they've all become my friends.
It's Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores you've ever had. In '01, we stayed up all night telling ghost stories with the neighbors. Yeah, I know I've got a bit of wear and tear. And sadly, in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire. When a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Sparks from an improperly extinguished fire pit can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Okay, this is the target house.
Hey, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like sun came up outside.
You in the house. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
KTOX 1340 AM, standing up for truth, justice, and a decent cup of coffee.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice, 'cause I speak of the pompatus of love. People talk about me, baby, say I'm doing you wrong, doing you wrong. Well, don't you worry, baby, don't worry, 'cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. Play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I get my loving on the run. Ooh. You're the cutest thing that I ever did see. I really love your beaches, want to shake your tree. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it all the time. Ooh, yeah, baby, I sure show you a good time. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. Play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I get my loving on the run. I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one. People keep talking about me, baby. Say I'm doing you wrong. Well, don't you worry, don't worry, no, don't worry, mama. 'Cause I'm right here at home. You're the cutest thing I ever did see. Really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey all the time. Come on, baby, now show you a good time.
This portion of the Rob Hanson radio program could be brought to you by you for as little as $25 a week. For more information, email us at info@ktox1340.com. That's info@ktox1340.com. info@ktox1340.com.
KTOX.
KTOX.
The Tri-States Talk Leader.
Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. Because time is money, and we're always on time. Stuck in Bullhead City without a ride? Don't waste time. Call Taxi. We're your local experts for fast, reliable transportation around town, to the airport, or anywhere you need to go. Our friendly drivers ensure safe, comfortable rides at affordable rates, 24/7. Whether it's a quick errand or a night out, we've got you covered. Call now, 928-201-2953. That's 928-201-2953. Time Call Taxi. Because time is money, and we're always on time.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
That's Coast to Coast every night at 10 p.m. right here on KTOX.
Hi, Crystal again from High Desert Heat. Never before in history has it been more important to hang on to your Second Amendment rights. Times are changing fast. Make sure you and your family are protected. At High Desert Heat, we have all your Second Amendment needs. Weekly CCW classes as well as training or even a try before you buy. Custom Cerakoting, engraving, ladies private and group shooting classes. We are your hometown family-friendly one-stop shop. High Desert Heat, 4410 Highway 95, Fort Mojave, Arizona, 928-763-4328.
Route 66 Broadband is locally owned and operated company with a local attitude. What that means to you is better service. With internet service and digital TV in Needles, Golden Valley, Mojave Valley, and Golden Shore. Call Needles at 760-326-4190 and Golden Valley at 928-565-4190. Be sure to check out the website at Route66Broadband.com. It's all about reliable high-speed service and much more. Swantees of Bullhead City has been a permanent source for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles since 1990. Swantees has the largest selection of new and used cars and trucks in the tri-state area. They have a knowledgeable parts department and an award-winning service department. Whether it's a Ram truck, a Jeep Wrangler, or a Dodge Charger, there's always great deals to be had at Swantees of Bullhead City at 2494 Highway 95. Stop in and see us.
Hi, I'm Frederick Penny of Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. I bet you're tired of hearing lawyer commercials, so just relax and listen to music for a few seconds. When you or a family member has been injured, call 800-616-4LAW or see us at PennyandAssociates.com. See, that wasn't so bad.
Here at Renegade Radio, our topics are always hot, fresh, and full body, just like your favorite cup of morning coffee. Of course, we don't like too much caffeine in our host during the show. The results could be disastrous. Check this out.
Here we go.
Caller, you're live on 1340.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Picture this if you can. As crowded as Highway 95 is now, with a road widening project. Every equipment, every dump trucks coming in, hauling material in and out. Wouldn't that be a recipe for disaster?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that the Arcadia Boulevard project that runs north, south, parallel east of Highway 95 is the most beautiful thing because they can be building that while we're all doing Highway 95. When it opens up, it's like, well,
So just be happy. We're smart enough to carry an intelligent conversation without all the adlibs. 1340 AM, Renegade Radio.
I've been telling folks for a long time we don't have salespeople here at KTOX. And that's not totally accurate. In fact, we do have salespeople. They're our satisfied clients. They tell their fellow business associates about advertising with us. That's why most of our advertisers are from referrals. We have no salespeople, at least in the traditional sense. Call KTOX and find out more about advertising on the Tri-States Talk Leader at 760-326-4500.
KTOX Needles, the very best in live local talk.
To talk with Rob on the air, call 855-586-9134.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
And welcome back. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program. 855-586-9134 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Sorry about after last break. Had a little bit of a issue I had to deal with, dealing with one of the station air conditioners. And it looks like it's going to be a late night for me. Once again. Oh, man. 855-586-9134 is the number. You know, we're talking about personal freedoms, personal liberties, and, you know, of course, the left's penchant for, you know, cutting that debate through fear tactics of being canceled, fired, or whatever. And, you know, the first hour, we went through interesting topics that dealt with that dealt with the same thing, cancel culture, but phrased a little differently. And that was to have your speech labeled hate speech. How many times have you heard from the left where they would call somebody a Nazi or a racist or a bigot? Let's go to the phones real quick. KTOX, you're on the air.
Yeah, real quick. I don't need much time. So I'm glad you finally admitted, Rob.
Huh?
You admitted that you have issues.
I always have issues. I've always had issues. I've never denied I didn't have issues. So what's your issue?
Well, I got too many to. I mean, you're out of time. You got like it's 52, 53 past the hour. We don't have time, man. We need at least a 3-hour program.
This is true. Well, you know, you can always call in on Sunday and Monday.
Bother you. Okay.
That's 5 hours of being able to talk about
5
your
hours
issues.
of bothering Henry and Bud.
Yeah.
I don't know. Henry's pretty quick with the hang up button, especially when it comes to break time.
Well, yeah, certainly is. So am I.
Yeah, but you have issues, you know, and
I've never complained. I've never said I didn't have issues.
Yeah, well, there goes my joke. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Just call me Mr. Killjoy or Miss Killjoy. Hell, I don't care. Just don't be disrespectful.
Well, that's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it?
What's that?
Rob is my straight man.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
See what I did there?
I will give you the ding for that one. That was pretty
All
good.
right.
That was actually excellent. I like that. Good job.
Yeah.
Bravo. You know, I won't give you the buzz. I almost wish I had, you know, a crowd cheering. But
yeah, you're probably still going to give me the boot though.
Oh yeah, here in about 4 minutes and 52 seconds. But
4 minutes and 52. You don't want to talk to me for 4 minutes and 52 seconds, man.
No,
That's
I really don't.
lame. Right. That's what I'm trying to give you an out, but so far you're not taking it.
Well, you know,
So
I'm trying to allow you to take your own out.
Oh, you want me to take myself out? Okay.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
okay, yeah. See how you are. See how you are. You twist those words around.
Right. Yeah. So what's that phone number that Henry's always handing out?
855-586-9134.
No, not that one. Not that one. The not the 911. Not the 411. Anyway, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna take myself out. Bye.
All right, bye. 855-586-9134. Oh Lord, yeah. When it comes down to having arguments, you know, one of the things that listeners and I have agreed on over the years is that civil conversation, even if you disagree on points, civil conversation works better. You know, I do quite frequently hang up on people who start to get rude with me because it's no longer a civil conversation. I hang up on people that wish to argue loudly and then start cussing. And then there are calls I don't answer at all. I haven't seen in quite some time. Makes me wonder. But being able to voice your opinion and then back it up with facts, or back it up with more than just I feel this way, is how this country has run. Now, mind you, the First Amendment does not say how you need to argue. Matter of fact, the First Amendment kind of implies that you're supposed to argue loud and ugly. That's why I like seeing people who have had enough, had it up to their eyebrows, walk into City Hall or the state government or the county government and just read them the Riot Act. Regardless of whether I agree with them or not. That is part of our political process. That's part of the First Amendment. That's part of taking your grievances to them to be heard. And you're allowed to deliver them in any tone of voice that you choose. You can be angry, you can be happy, you can be whatever. I've made no bones about walking into city council and demanding that city officials resign immediately. And I wasn't very nice about it. They didn't. That's okay. That was my right as a United States citizen. Rightly or wrongly, I have the right to my opinion. I have a right to my voice. I have a right to say things, to speak power to government. And guess what? By law, they have to sit there and take it. It is the Miss Rob Hanson radio program. Join us tomorrow for the top 40 countdown. That would be 1977. Going to be a great show. 3 to 6 p.m. We'll see you tomorrow. Go out there and make the world a better place. Go get your ham radio license. It's easy. KTOX deals.
Yo, son, you all listening to KTOX.
Town Hall. I'm John Scott. U.S. military firing on a merchant vessel attempting to breach its blockade of Iranian ports, while Iran targeted American strongholds around the Persian Gulf. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia struck the port city of